possible to have any sort of celebration with this team, commemoration? Is the school thinking about that? Obviously, they're not on campus now.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope that's something that we'll get around to. I think, obviously, a lot of priorities before that now in terms of getting people home and keeping people safe. But I hope so, because I feel like it was a very special season, and a lot was accomplished, and of course a little bit more of what if, but hopefully there'll be something.
Could you take us through just the last 24 hours? Obviously, it was, you knew at first no fans, and then things changed so drastically. Did you get a sense? What was the last 24 hours like?
Yeah, well, when we were flying up on Wednesday, the Ivy League had just canceled their tournament, and so we were all talking about that and that decision, and felt wild. And then when we got up there, they decided, later they decided no fans, and then everything's happened so quickly. And then, when Rudy Gobert got it, it seemed that it was really going to take a bigger turn. So I think when we went to sleep that night, we were preparing for no fans. We weren't playing Thursday, but we were preparing for no fans, but probably wondering what was going to happen in total. And so, the next morning, right before we were scheduled to go to practice, they canceled the A-10 tournament. And I think everybody was just shocked, but hopeful that there would be an NCAA tournament. And then when that happened, that was, we were on the bus back to the airport, and that was pretty devastating.
Hey, you mentioned previously that Richmond is not in the category of Kansas and Duke, nor is 345 schools. So this is a little different for Richmond to get into position for this sort of achievement. Can you sort of elaborate on that?
Well, if you look at it, we were won 24 out of the 31 games. We were 25 in the RPI, which isn't used anymore, 37 or 38 in the net, and still on the bubble. Say we had won one more game, would that have made us last four? And the demands for what you need to do are really, really high. And so it doesn't happen all the time for most teams, except teams like Kansas, Duke, Michigan State, I guess. And so you really want that much more. You crave that opportunity, because we felt like if we would have gotten there, we'd have had a very favorable matchup and a great opportunity to advance.
You head into a big recruiting cycle, given your roster, frankly. Does this, by this I mean the pandemic, affect the way you can move forward in recruiting?
At the moment, yes. I'm sure a lot of the events will be canceled. That if it remains like this, and then the NABC has suggested no off-campus recruiting. So yeah, it changes things a little bit. I mean, fortunately, we've been out in front of the recruiting because we didn't have too many spots to fill this year. So we've already had a few juniors take official visits, which is something new that the NCAA allows. So we feel like we're in front of it. But given the nature of recruiting, it'll certainly have an impact, and it'll force us into making sure we have to work a little bit harder when the time comes when we are able to go out and evaluate and recruit.
Hey, so speaking of that, you said earlier this season that of your 5 junior starters, you expect all to be back. Nothing's changed there, or with the rest of your roster, as far as you know at this point?
Not at all. Yeah, we fully expect everybody to be back and the team to be intact, and excited about the future when it presents itself.
Can you give people any hints as to the Spider schedule? I know it's early for that, but
yeah,
be scheduling accordingly.
Yeah,
you'll have a team that maybe.
You're faster than the internet, John. I'm not going to give you any hints. Yes, we're gonna have play as the best schedule we can possibly play, because we anticipate having a great team.
What happens to your players? They're now home.
Yeah.
And when are they going to be allowed back into the condition to live?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're home. So we came back last night and we met, and then after the meeting, we started to help them with their travel plans. So most of them are already home or en route to home. We don't know when they'll be allowed back or when campus will operate normally again. But we've worked really closely with John Hart and David Walsh to, I think that, I'm sure that as soon as you're allowed to do anything, that will be on the very front end of that. But for right now, we'll just be wait and see and make sure we stay in great communication with our guys.
Did you leave them with any instructions in terms of what to do athletically or otherwise?
I didn't, only because I don't know if it's going to be a couple of weeks or longer than that. So we didn't do anything like that.
What was their mood like? Just their reaction, obviously disappointment. I'm sure,
Yeah.
like yours.
They were devastated. We've had things come up over the course of time, whether it be a loss of life of a fellow student or a death in the family of one of our players, and those things are difficult, usually kind of isolated to one guy with the support of the whole team. These guys were really devastated, and it's the kind of thing, there's no upside. A lot of times in sports, there's the next game, the next opportunity, and this really is foreign to all that. There's no upside. It's just something beyond anyone's control that's eliminated and taken away. So I would say the guys were devastated.
Is it kind of like an emptiness, feeling like you play a full season and then there's no reward, good or bad? There's really nothing that ends up coming out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Just a hollow, empty feeling. And I was on with Bob this morning on the radio show, and just the way it's viewed now by the average fan about an NCAA season or not, that's really difficult to take, because you feel like, as great of a season as it was, it didn't have that cherry on top or that opportunity to advance, and so that really leaves you wanting for more.
I don't know if it's like from the commissioner's office or anything just within the conference. Do you know of any talk of, were you surprised that they just flat out canceled everything without maybe waiting to see, or the postponement made it just been too difficult?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there are 1,000 factors and layers to logistically and otherwise, to postponing it. I think that's what everybody was hoping for. Postpone it. Let's kind of reconvene in 2 weeks or a month, see where we are. As difficult as that might be, that still would feel like a resolution, at least. So, I can't begin to understand all the pressures and challenges they were facing, but I know that's the hope was that it would be at least a postponement and kind of more of a wait and see approach.